or he is asking you to do blowjob to give you money.
Businessman.
Yeah.
The hormone imbalance at the beginning, that as a man you're like crazy horny at the beginning, that you cannot even talk to the penis, like you cannot reason with it, and there are many decisions that are made by that. I still deal with it, but not as bad as it was at the beginning.
I started to watch porno when I was 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah.
If you always get apples on the table and you never taste orange, how you know what is the taste of orange?
That's the argument that gay guys always tell me. How don't you know? I know that I'm not gay. This argument doesn't work.
It works.
It's like, you have never been with a guy. Well, how don't you know that you're gay? Well, because I'm never. First of all, whenever I'm going to be down, I'm going to be playing this clip so that I remind myself of how amazing I am. Thank you for those words. Welcome to Santiago's Creative Journey podcast. Today we had a relationship coach, the wonderful Raminta from Lithuania. I hope I'm not botching her name. We talk a lot about relationships, and we discussed the movie Vulgar because there's so much happening talking about relationships in the movie that we wanted to deconstruct it for you guys and to bring some tips so that you can have some helpful information that is going to help you in your relationship or not, or maybe you're just going to pass it on to somebody that keeps struggling and needs some solutions for their life. So enjoy. We were talking about the good stuff about the relationships that you have been coaching. Okay, but tell me more. Tell me more. How did you start it first? How?
Oh, I think I started relationship coaching from my childhood.
Okay.
You know, every child knows the best suggestion for their parents, how they're supposed to have relationships.
For sure, not me. I didn't know. I know for sure. Okay. So you were like, I'm guessing, like, I'm imagining, I'm making myself a story in my head.
Make a story.
Yeah. So the story that I'm making is that your parents would fight, and then you would come and try to suggest things for both sides, and then they would make out and be good again, and then that's how it all started.
No, it started a little bit different because
Okay.
when my parents fight, I was hiding under the table. So there was not a place, but when they have a parties and they are drunk,
Okay.
then I can come as a clear head and ask very deep questions. For example, what is the most important for you in life? And then they hear each other, and then they are rethinking about their choices and what they are doing. So it was a little
How old were you at that moment?
As I remember myself, 10, 12 years old.
And you were asking those questions?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. So I started there. I finished school. I joined medical school. I was working at sexual transmitted diseases by diagnosing them. So this was a huge part for me to understanding that people in general has a diagnosis. But when you are diagnosed by sexual transmitted diseases and you are married, if of course some kind of the cheating,
Yeah.
and there is no like psychological help
Okay.
at all. You just give them test results, and that's all. You don't know how they will deal with it, how they discover all of that. So then I saw that this is like a thing that I want really to help to talk with them. So I finished J. Shetty coaching school, and I started to work with the relationship. And I saw that this is the most important for me, and I'm the best in a relationship by understanding, discovering, analyzing, and helping people in that
And
area.
the school was online?
What?
The school was online?
Yes, the school was online.
Okay.
Yes.
How long was how was that experience? How was the first time you were learning something online, or?
Yes, it was first time when I learning something online, and I would say it was a very supportive community where I also discover myself, find myself. I also was working with some school members who were helping me by coaching me during that period. And I was not lost at that time. I think that I just find my reality. So yes, it was a very great, and I still have friends from that school that they are working, that we can support each other.
Okay. Oh, I love it. I teach, so when COVID hit and I had to teach online, it was brutal. So that's why I was asking you, how was that experience of learning something full time online? Because for me it was like, oh my god, like it was like I don't know, maybe I'm Latin American, so I'm just used to being with people around. And I felt I was talking to the ocean. When you go down in the water and you are imagining things there and you feel like, yeah.
Yes, I can tell you that when I'm doing some kind of online events, I also feel, oh my God, just two or three people join, and I think that no one is watching at all, and why it's so important for me now to speak up,
Yeah.
because when it's a physical lessons, it's easy, but I had a very big loss a couple weeks ago, and I was in a church, and I saw that there is 5 people and priest still pretending of all the process, even with 5 people.
Okay,
And
okay.
then I understand, like, yes, my work, even if there are just 2 or 3 people who are joining, is meaningful.
Yeah. No, I didn't have the problem with the meaning. I think it's meaningful. I just feel that it's very hard to do it. It's for me it was the focus. I kept like, because you're talking on a computer. Like let's be fair. I teach in Latvia, yeah, so my students were Latvian. They don't ask questions. They don't even say okay. Everybody has the microphone mute, and it's very hard to concentrate. I'm talking about this without, oh, maybe I'm gonna eat something later. Like it was very hard to focus because there was such low feedback. And at least in real life, you're seeing their faces. They're equally quiet, but you see like here, I'm like some had the microphone, the camera off. It's just a mess. So it was not more from the meaning. It was more from the focus. It was hard for me. So I have taken a couple of lessons online, but because I take things that are in difficult how's it called, time zones. I always attribute that it's like I'm basically recording the things and then I go and see them slowly. Okay, what they were doing, what they were saying, because it's hard for me to focus on the computer. It's just hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was more from there, my question. No, but for sure, no, I'm helping people because what you're doing, I'm guessing you can have a direct experience of how you're helping people with their relationship, which has to be transformational.
Yes, at school we have clear, how to say, rules that you have to put your camera on, and most of the people, they speak up. Of course, there was some that didn't speak, and I want to mention also that I joined G Shetty coaching school. It was in US, it was in English, and I had no clue about English, so
Wow.
I didn't speak in English like for 10 years
Okay.
when I started, and what I learn now, it's my 2 years of experience of coaching in English.
Nice.
Yes. So.
Nice. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna tell you I have a very profound, I think, because you're saying, you just told the story how when you were very young you were asking to your parents those deep questions that I never asked. But I had, since a very young age, the question, my background comes, from where my curiosity, I always wanted to know why people do what they do. It's like why people behave how they behave. Like that was like my fundamental question. I think I've had that question since I grew up, and that's why I make movies, because I think basically movies and stories are basically a hypothesis of what drives change in a person. Yeah, like I'm just saying from my experience how I've seen a person change, or the world change, or a couple of people change. And yeah, that's how I started. And as a guy that's been in plenty of relationships, it was just fair to start with a movie that would talk about like romantic relationship. Because when I say I've been in a lot of relationships, I mean specifically romantic relationship. Although I have many friends, and like the Americans in general are very social, so
Yes.
I come from there. So yeah.
And for me, every time when people are telling that they want to find an answer from where it's coming, as a coach, I would ask, so how was your childhood? Uh,
Amazing. Lonely. Like I feel I was given a lot of freedom, and I was lonely in the sense not because there were I was abandoned in a corner and there was nobody else. Is that I, but I was raised by my mom and my grandma and my nana because in Venezuela in Latin America certain part of the population has a nana, which is basically somebody that helps in the house and has been there since forever. And there was a lot of people around, but my mom was very into her own freedom. So she was very into making sure that I had a lot of freedom. That was like very important for her. So I was able to, from the very beginning, understand what are the things that I like through like nobody would impose me. You need to do this. You need to do this, and I was very in tune with what makes me happy. And then when I grew up, at some moment I was studying engineering because in my house everybody's an engineer or a mathematician, and I didn't find myself. And then for destiny, I found like this acting school, and then everything changed. And I knew, oh, this is what I was missing. Yeah, I think you need to have something that makes life move. That is kind of like a fire. It's like I remember back then thinking, I'm missing a fire. Like I used to have a fire that has been extinguished, and I was missing it. And I was able to reconnect because in my childhood I was left to figure out what was important for myself, what made me happy. I remember a conversation very very young with my mom that I'm like, I'm bored, and my mom told me, well, what are you gonna do about it? Like, and I think I might be exaggerating, but I have the feeling that I was like maybe 7, 6. And since there, I just had the opportunity of figuring out what makes me happy. And I think that's a very powerful tool nowadays because I have a lot of friends that when you're doing you have been working all your life in the arts. I know we all know how hard it is to make a living out of it, and a lot of people ask me for advice. Like, and for me, it's so easy to tell to people, oh, start with something that you like. But I find that is so obvious for me that to know what I like. But when you go and talk to other people, it's very hard for them to even know what they like. So
yes.
I don't know how's been your experience with that.
My experience with doing what I like, most of the time I have a time for doing what I like.
Mm-hmm.
And in general, what I choose to do, even working at the medical area, I was doing what I like, but I didn't find the real meaning in that.
Mm.
Because as I mentioned, just to give the results, it goes nowhere.
Mm.
Like you are not helping, you more like making problems for the people. But
Okay.
that's reality. They live 10 years happily
Yeah.
ever after. Now they are figuring out what's going on behind the scenes. So, but the main thing I think, when you are doing what you love, not to go to the burnout,
Yeah.
because this is also very important, because you can spend hours and hours in there and not looking for other things what to do, what also can make you happy.
Yeah.
As you know, just relax, just to sit down, maybe read a book, maybe get some more knowledge.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, but I get it. I get it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
No, for me, burnout is, I don't understand that, to be honest. I just can't do forever and ever what I do, and I can do more. For me, it's hard to relax and just chill and be in a beach. I just like doing stuff. So, since forever. I think that's the, I think you have to be aware of how you work. Some people, they clearly don't have they need, like, I have many artist friends that they feel that they burn out, and they're very aware of this, and they, oh, I need to take a break and this. I'm like, no, I don't take breaks. I want to do more. Like, maybe at some moment things are hard, but a little bit of what you're saying, that you were saying, that you were liking, that you were doing what you liked in the medical field, but there was no, you felt that you were empty of meaning. I think another quality when you're saying that you're lying is that you have to have the quality of, like, even if it's hard, make it fun. Like that you on I and when I say fun, I don't mean but it cannot, not everything can be like whipping yourself out. So I think the more you learn about yourself, the more you know what you need to give to yourself. For example, I sleep a lot, so I will, and if I can't sleep, I'm not performing at my best. So I will work around everything around sleeping. For example, you have to have your own boundaries, and I guess that people that burn out a lot is because they don't have their own boundaries, and they don't understand that they're trying to push, and it's a guess because I don't have that problem. I always want to do more. I have the other thing. I feel no matter how much I do, I'm like, but let's do more. Let's do more. So yeah.
I hope that you will never feel that.
No, yeah. Hopefully, also.
Yes, about boundaries, it's very true, because when you want to do more and more, there is a limit. You have always to be aware about the limits, because it is like what I want to do, what I need to do, and what I have to do. And you have to be...
And what I can do.
And what, yes,
Yeah.
and in all of that, it's supposed to be a balance,
Yeah.
because if, like, you are sleeping and it's your boundary,
Yeah.
and this is where you put boundaries very clearly, and you know that you won't perform as well as you perform when you are when you're in a good rest. Yes.
Yeah.
So you know your body, you understand. People who are not connected with themselves, of course, at that time they are crossing that limit, and then they are looking back and looking at themselves, what they have to do.
Okay, now let's get into the fun stuff, like the relationships.
Okay.
Because I love talking about relationships. I
too.
find myself talking so much about relationships with
But
people.
not having relationships.
No, I do. I have a very complicated relationship.
Yes, this is like what I noticed, that people who has the most complicated relationship in their lifetime giving suggestions for everyone else how to live.
No. To be fair, I'm gonna say my relationships are very simple and very easy, and I love them. I have not strong. I would say that at the beginning of my life, I didn't understand relationship, and I think the basic problem in relationships, at least for men, because I find myself a lot in this conversation with other guys, is that you need to have a very good self-awareness of who you are, because men tend to make promises that they don't keep. Yeah. And what I stopped was promising things I knew I wasn't going to deliver. Yeah. And I learned it very, very fast. I have many friends and family members that they fool themselves for longer, and I don't even get it. They think they can be better than they are, and they won't be. Yeah. It's a matter, again, of understanding your boundary. I wish I would be this knight in shining armor, but I can't. And then at some moment you stop even wishing to be, like, I don't need to be, why do I need to be this? So it's complicated for other people to understand what I do. That's when I say that it's complicated. I'm trying to be objective. For me, super easy. And I feel that's why I end up talking so much about relationships, because I don't find them hard. I feel that they're amazing, and that you have to pay a price to be in one. And it's a matter of, like, is it important for you enough to pay the price or not? I feel I've been in a relationship since forever, so I'm willing to pay the price. I will be born 1,000 times. I'll pay it all the time, and I realize that a lot of people don't wanna. But I think their main problem is that they don't understand their own limitation. They promise more than they can deliver, and then they're resentful about their relationships, but that's again about yourself and making promises, you know.
Yes, and because I'm working the most of with a woman,
Yeah,
and what I always tell them, see how man will follow his words.
yeah,
What you mentioned,
yeah,
because most of the time, especially at the beginning, and it's so natural and it's so psychologically natural to show up
yeah,
for women and for men. And at that beginning, women, they get everything in their head and in their heart, and they truly believe, oh, at the first date, he told me that he wants family and kids, and now she already has a plan for 5 years how
yes,
they will get married, have kids.
yeah.
And that guy was just talking, and then next time he forgot because he's with other girl with who he's telling the same. So
Listen to her. I keep telling to girls, like, don't even listen to guys what they say. See what they do. Like,
yes.
I don't care what like, men have absolutely no problem on saying stuff that is never gonna happen. Like,
Yes, and usually what the answer of them will be, I don't remember that I told you
it's
this.
like, I would say sometimes that could be very disingenuous. Sometimes it's true that they don't remember, but I do feel that that is blatant lies. I have met so few guys that I can say that they don't lie on purpose. It's just almost they all lie, and I feel the whole structure, but it's not even about relationships. Like, there's this idea that somehow you have to lie in culture. Like, I've been in conversations where you cannot say that to your grandma. I'm like, why can't I say that to my grandma? She's 95. All her friends are dead. Her husband is dead. Everything she ever loved is gone except us. She can handle this shit. We can't, but she for sure can. She's 95. We're not gonna kill her giving her bad news, telling that my brother smokes. She's gonna be fine. But there's this idea that there's certain things that are worth a lie that I believe is pointless. There's no, and the thing is, what I try to explain to people is like, lying is like a muscle. There are truths that are hard to tell. Like, it's gonna be hard to tell to my grandma that her best friend, the only one alive, is gonna be dead, and she will die, and I will have to say that. Yeah, if I cannot say that a tiny thing, if I cannot say a tiny truth that is hard to say, the big one, I'm never saying it. Yeah, so it's like people are so disconnected in general. And to be fair, I'm specifically talking about like a man problem. Yeah, like, I've been in too many conversations where, oh no, you can't, don't say that to you. Like, it's out of protecting
It's
in general, but I just don't think it has been helpful.
no, I think it's not what you mentioned about your grandmother. You know that she's old and she will die soon, yes?
Yeah.
And there is no fear of losing her. Like,
Yeah.
there is a fear that she will die.
Yeah.
But what it comes to the relationship,
Yeah,
you really like that girl.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And by telling the truth, there is a fear of losing her. Is
Yes, 1000%.
abandonment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why I will pretend, I will try to reach her. And I was dating one guy from Africa. He was living in UK, and what he was telling me: never find a girl who is out of your budget.
Yeah.
If you cannot reach her financially, emotionally, like time, physically, why you are trying to pretend?
Yeah.
And then I started, to think, like, seriously, even for me as a woman, why I want to reach the guy who is out of my range. Like,
Yeah.
then I putting myself in discomfort because I'm not accepting myself at this level where I am.
Yeah.
And if there will be someone who is next to me, accepting me now, and I think the most important that people are scared is to be abandonment, but not to understand how you can grow in a couple. If you can reach this level by yourself with the right partner, you can build an empire.
Yeah.
Because you will get support, you will get I don't know, he will be or she will be your best cheerleader, and you will grow together even faster, instead of trying to reach someone by lying who you are.
Yes, but I would even say I see it a little bit different. I'm going to tell you how I see it.
Okay.
I think the key to a relationship is that you need to find somebody that can handle all the bad things about you. Because nobody's going to break up with you when you are buying them a gift or taking them on their amazing trip. Yeah?
I would disagree. There will be more and more expensive gifts. Everybody will find limits, because if you are with a woman,
Yeah.
because you are buying her gifts, so
No,
then
no, no. Don't get me wrong. Like, let me put the
Okay.
whole thing together because I haven't painted the picture. I think I'm going in the wrong way. Like when it comes to a relationship, any relationship, family, romantic, yeah. But in romantic, the thing is that it's a partner that you, in theory, are gonna spend the majority of your time with. Yeah. There are cool things about the relationships, and there are not so cool things. Cool things can be from, oh, she's very pretty, or she cooks good, or she's very social, or she's very shy because I don't like social girls, they're so loud, whatever is cool for you. Yeah, you have the things that you like about the person, and the things that she's always late that you don't like about the person. She's always late, she bitches about everything, or she is too disorganized, or whatever it's gonna be. Yeah, like there's good things and bad things. What I mean is that you never break up because of the good things that you have with somebody. Oh, you both like to read. Yeah, you're not gonna break up because you're reading. You're gonna break up because, oh, I can't stand that she's always late, or something like that. You break up on the bad things. And what I realize is that if you find people that in their core values, the with where your core values are aligned, then the bad things are not a deal breaker. It's like, oh, I want honesty above all. Well, it's honesty above all, or is lies and I tell you what you want to believe. Yeah, like it's gonna be one of like, and I think it works both ways, because I have friends that I know they lie to their wives and they have a great relationship, and I'm pretty sure their wives lie to them too. So it works. It's a unwritten agreement that it works for them, because out of for them is maybe better to feel a certain way, to feel better, and then not say that, oh, my new secretary is too hot. I'm just making something up. Yeah.
yes.
But for me, I'll rather hear, oh, the new guy that is working there, it's kind of hot, but know the truth. So it's a matter of what are your if your how's it called, if your core values are aligned, then you're willing to pay the price of the bad things. And when I say bad, I don't think they're bad objectively. They're just things that, for example, I'm very organized. My girlfriend is very disorganized. It drives me insane. But I gotta pay a price. It's not gonna be perfect. Yeah. But all the good things and the core values are aligned. For example, honesty. So I'll take, my ex-girlfriend wasn't as disorganized, but she lied too much. So I'll take disorganized with truth than a organized with political correctness. Yeah, because let's be fair, I think she sees us more as politically correct. I see it as blatant lies. But that's up to that. That is what I say. That's the subjective experience. Yeah, because for her, it's just more important. Why do I have to tell these things to? I'm not gonna even say it more, because if they watch this, they're gonna know what's happening. But
No,
yeah,
I would agree and disagree, because if we have two healthy, normal partners who can agree and be clear about their relationship,
yes,
then it's fine. Yes, you are like, that your girlfriend is disorganized. You tell her that that you won't change her, so
yeah,
you have to accept. It means that you can change yourself.
Yeah.
or you can shift the girlfriend. That will suit better.
Or-
There are only two
Or
options.
you can get, or what I do all the time, you just get angry, and she has to understand you're gonna be angry, and that's how life is, and we all pay a price, yeah, and that's it.
Yes, but when you are, let's say, in a toxic relationship, most of the time, it's not gonna work this way, because what
Toxic relationships don't work. They end up at some moment. I would say.
yes.
Okay. Okay.
But you have to be clear, because what I really don't like on social media and everywhere, because they are giving examples like communicate with your partner about the problems, or you have to accept some kind of negative things of your partner.
Yeah.
And for example, your partner is abusive for you, or he is asking you to do blowjob to give you money, for example, like, and
Businessman.
yeah. But when you hear you have to pay your price because you are his wife, and this is what you're supposed to do, like
I would say it differently.
yes, but you know, some people who are
Because I'm seeing it. Sorry that I interrupted. I'm seeing it from the side of the guy. It's like, why are you in a relationship? Like, you need to pay for a blowjob. Like, bro, that's not a good relationship. Okay, so but sorry that I'm interrupting.
yes, but you understand the
Yeah,
meaning. When you are in a truly toxic relationship, abusive, and abuse can be in a multiple way. These suggestions, like you have to accept the bad side of that person, they are not working, because you have to call police.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Like,
No. And to be fair, well, if we want to talk objectively about, well, because to be fair, I don't understand why somebody's gonna be in that kind of an abuse, and I'm not an expert in anything in any way, shape, or form. I'm sharing what has worked for me. Yeah, I do feel that if I would be in an abusive relationship of some sort, like let's say she steals or whatever, I don't know.
they don't
Yeah.
they don't steal.
Well, they're putting poison. They're putting poison in the food, like whatever. Yeah, like it always brings me
like,
back.
it's also opposite. I know some like men who are going out of the relationship where their wives ask to, like, during the divorce, ask to buy the new iPhone that they will send his kid picture.
Yeah.
Yes, so
Yes.
it's also like not healthy, and you won't tell that guy, okay, you have to accept her negativity, or you have to communicate more. Like, it's not gonna
No,
work.
no, I get it. What I'm trying to say is that no, that part I get it. I don't think this is a fix. What I'm trying, I don't think it works with everybody. You need to find the person. This is 99% of the time when I'm talking to people that are asking me about advice about a relationship. I'm like, you just have the wrong person. Look, it's as simple as that. That's what I had to learn at the beginning. That's why I go back to the core beliefs, and the core beliefs, your core beliefs, or any, like, you're not yours, but in general, somebody's core beliefs can be broken. Like, why do you want to find like, for example, something that you see a lot from guys, that they have this, like, they want to have wives that are kind of like moms, and they have like this kind of like motherly longing from their relationships, and you see very, very fast that the wife becomes some sort of a mom, and they're like even the clone of their own mom, because I know some cases.
Yeah.
And that's a core belief that they want.
I would make a little bit difference for you. You will say, if you will accept your core beliefs, what is the most important for you.
Yeah.
You have to figure out that, but also you have to figure out where your cup is empty.
Yeah.
If you don't know where your cup is empty, for example, you need care for the woman as a mother who
Yeah.
will make you food, like clean your house.
Yeah.
You have to be also clear about it.
Yeah.
Like, there is a lot of about like 5 love languages and all, and 5 sex languages and other things that you have to discover about yourself.
Yeah.
Because my core belief maybe is equality, freedom, because I really like freedom in a relationship too. But where is my cup empty is physical touch.
Okay.
what I will desire. And if I have a partner who don't like physical touch at all, or with who physical touch ends with sex,
Yeah.
it means that we are not connected. I am not able to be there, and this is not about core values. It is about my needs in a relationship.
I get it, but then it's a communication problem, because I would call it also like a core, like like a core need or belief. Like I put them, but I agree 1000%. Like you're differentiating, and I like that you differentiate them. It's smarter. But I just put them all in the same things, because I agree. Like I remember a long time ago, I had a girlfriend that she was very anti-touch, but the girlfriend that I had before was the opposite. And I was like, listen, I'm gonna bitch if they touch me too much or too little. I'd rather bitch because they touch me too much. I'm that kind of guy. There are other people that don't, and it's okay. So, but I think in all this conversation, I think one of the things that we are agreeing in the base is that the more you know yourself, the easier it is to understand what you need, what you want to communicate, what you can offer with all these kind of things. And maybe the end of that movie is like, that's why you gotta learn to love yourself. The end. So, but it's true. It's a little bit true.
Yes, I agree, but I would like to ask, because you are coming from a different culture, at what age usually people get married?
In Venezuela, late,
Yes.
27, 28, 30, maybe now. Yeah, no, here is too early. Here is too early.
Yes, because just at 21, you have to understand, you start to understand your brain are developed fully. So
Mine was like at 26. No, I feel there's a huge difference between women and men. Like, I feel like as a man, you're a child until you're like 26, 27. In my case, I feel like for sure till 25. I will say 26. Like 26. Like literally. Like the hormone imbalance at the beginning, that as a man, you're like crazy horny at the beginning, that you cannot even talk to the penis, like you cannot reason with it, and there are many decisions that are made by that, and it's just that I still deal with it, but not as bad as it was at the beginning. And then there's something of how you perceive life. I remember what I used to think, and I remember, and now like the office, there's younger people also, and I see what they talk about and what they're. It's a completely, girls and guys develop super late. And I feel like if girls, because I feel in Latvia, I don't know how it's in Lithuania, but I from my few times that I've been in Lithuania, I've seen that women here are very independent. So it's like they have big boy problems, like, and I see them. I've been in many conversations where I'm literally telling to a girl that is 18, like, you have big boy problems. Like, you need a guy that is going to be 30. Like, forget about anybody who's like, they can't handle your problem. You got kicked off your house. You have to pay bills. You have to pay for food. You don't know what you want to do with your life. If you come with these 3 questions, and they have many other stuff, yeah?
Yes.
With these 3 questions, to me, as an 18-year-old, I'm going to go to my grandma to eat and watch movies with her. This is what I'm gonna do, because I just don't have not even the emotional, like the emotional, how to say, stillness to, okay, let's figure this thing out. Yeah, like, because as a guy, I'm guessing for ladies it's the same, but I'm talking, when I say as a guy, it's because I'm talking from my own experience. You need to figure out complicated things, and being an orphan, leaving a house, or being thrown out of your house at 18, like in Venezuela, we lived till our parents, in Latin America, till we're 30.
Yes.
And right now it's like till 40.
Yeah, I agree about that. And when first time I had my first boyfriend from South of America, from Latina, and he told me, in Eastern European, guys are kings.
Yeah.
Like, because women are doing and giving them everything. They don't have to do anything. They just can lay down on the sofa, because we are figuring out all the process.
But he called them kings.
Yes.
I called them useless. Same, but because of the same reason.
Yes, because of the same reason.
Yeah.
Because as a girls, we conditioned from the young age to do everything. And now when I'm starting to discovering different cultures, and I'm like, women do nothing, they even can choose, they can work or not. Like from my 6 years, I was going in the woods to collect mushrooms and sell them, that I can buy myself stuff for this from the school. It's not even from 18 years old. From a very young old, we know what means to buy things, what is the cost of work and do the stuff.
Yep.
And you're telling me like I'm living with my mom till 30. I'm like, come on, what you did, like half of your time you was also like living with the parents, you also useless.
Yeah. No, I lived alone till I was
I'm
15.
not talking
No,
directly
I
to
know,
you,
I
but
know,
in
I know.
general.
No, but in general, the thing is like, the culture is very different for sure. One thing that I would say in defense of Latin American women, because I don't want to sound like I'm trashing them, is that in Latin America it's very dangerous. Yeah?
Yes.
So you're never gonna be picking mushrooms outside in the woods, because it's the last thing you do. Yeah. So it's amazing, and it's one of the things why I love the Baltics, how safe it is for women. Yeah?
Yes.
This is, and for children. Like, I remember, now I don't even look at it anymore, but when I moved to Latvia, every time I would be in a light or outside at 12 and I would be a kid, I would be like, oh my God, this kid is alone. It's 12 in the night in the bus stop. I couldn't believe it. And then I had a friend that came to visit me, he's Japanese. And I was like, look, kids are outside. And he's like, yeah, like in Japan. But I've never seen that anywhere else. Yeah, like that is very powerful here, because it gives a lot of independence. The thing with the men is that they're too attached to their mothers here. Like, you feel that men are not manly.
I would say that Latinas are too attached to their mothers.
Too. But we have a difference, that we are very ambitious. And I think the main problem here is that they're attached without the ambition, and it's the double whammy of terribleness.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think the attachment to moms in Latin America is very big. And I think it hasn't been, and I think that's why politically and socially all Latin America is fucked up. We could be better. Let me put it that way.
No.
Yeah.
When I was living in Spain, and I get
But Spain is European.
No.
Okay.
Yes,
okay,
but
okay,
I get to know a lot of Latinas.
Okay.
There, because of the possibility to get a passport and all, they are like studying and living there and getting jobs.
Yeah.
And what's going on in Spain, that most of the CIOs, managers are from Latinas.
Yes.
Like, because what you mentioned, they have ambitions.
Yes.
And what Spanish guys doing, they are waitresses. Like,
but
that's a good job. That's okay. But
Yes.
this is what means being without ambitions. Because when you're coming from Latin America even to Spain, whereas safe too, because when I talked with one of my friends from Argentina, she experienced the same. In a midnight, I was calling my mom, I'm going with the train and I'm safe and nothing happened to me. And it was her experience. Of course, food is awful and all of the things. But she has ambitions, and people who are coming to Europe or to US, they are growing, they are building their careers, they can work 24/7 if they have some goal in their head.
Yes, but you're talking about the Latin American that already is out. I was talking about the Latin American that is still in the country where they are from.
Okay.
Like, so I agree 1000% with what you're saying. The difference is, like, in Latin America, the countries are not doing so well in Latin America, and that's why many people have to emigrate, like me, because there's this kind of like the drive has to be bigger. Yeah, like if we would have even more ambition, and we would be out of, like, the men a little bit out of their mom's house, I think we would thrive way more, but then we would be another culture. So I'm not trying to think that this is possible. Yeah.
But you can look from our experience in Lithuania. Yes, guys are throwing out from their parents' home, despite the fact that they have their mother wounds. But what is happening? They are getting to the relationship. What you mentioned, that they would get the same money at home, just with the sex, like some extras.
Yeah.
Yes. So what I want to say, it's you can change a culture, but you don't know how it will shift in general.
Yes, yes, I agree. I agree. No, and I don't think the culture is gonna change. I think, I think if it change, it's forced. So, for example, all my friends that emigrated, they have to live far away from their parents. But I was living alone since I was 15, and I was telling to all my friends, how you can't do this. You're not gonna be amazing by going to see your mom every fucking weekend. Like, you have to learn more stuff. When are you gonna do it? So, and I was different because of the freedom that my mom wanted to give me when I was a kid. But my mom is very different than everybody in Latin America, to be fair. So I think there was that, like, I just want to go back to the point, because we're I love conversations like this. Let's be fair, that we touch 20,000 things. That what I was telling you about the difference in the, like, with because you mentioned that the guys are king here and this and that. There's also one thing that I could say that I feel is very different. Lithuanians and Latvians are very different. So I'm also talking from my experience in Latvia. I also feel, because in Latvia we have a lot of Russian Latvians. The Russian Latvians are very different than because Russians have this thing that is good for progress. That is that they're very proud of taking it. Yeah, it's like, oh, I had to go through this, like the Russian ways, like the hard. They're proud of that.
Not the hard, but more abusive way. Let's be honest.
Because, on the extremes, but
yes.
if you wanna, but there are people that can still have it healthy without having to go to the extreme. I would agree with you that it's more to the extreme in general. But I think but I think the ones that are here are a little bit more, like Latvia nowadays feels like Europe, Lithuania too. Like we were last week, and I was mind blown. I was like, there's even parts that I'm like, this feels like Prague, straight up. Like Lithuania is very, very well. You see the difference in the size. One of the good things that you guys have, that 1 million is like literally 33% more people, and you feel it. So yeah, I feel that idea of thriving, having ambition, makes it needs to be brought back to relationships. I think also that, let's be fair, there's a problem that the relationship model is old, and times have changed and things are different. I feel, I've been banging on the thing, I work with my girlfriends, and nobody does that. And I think I know that in the past it used to be like this. Like families were all the time together. And I think that has been lost. And in my previous relationships, that was my problem, that I realized, okay, my girlfriend's on this side, I'm on this side. How am I supposed to grow anything good when I'm 8 hours of a day with a bunch of people, and then I give my last hours of the day when I'm tired and I just want to sleep for the next day to the person I love, and I'm building a future together? It's not gonna work. I had to switch that up, and now it works 10 times better. But I grew up in a culture that tells you, oh, never work with your loved ones, because don't work with your family. Don't work with
yes, because you will get fined and all that.
It's like, it's gonna be a problem.
It's not gonna work for me. I'm working also with my boyfriend, and what I would say and mention out of the toxic relationship and negative side, why it was so good to live in a community by building relationship. Because when you are in this close circle, you know that person from one to other person, like people know from that village, this guy, his father is this way, his mother is that way, and if you date him, you at least know what to expect. And what's going now, like people are coming, for example, to Lithuania, or you came here to Latvia. You can be criminal here, there, at your country, and now you pretend. And no one can check you. And what's going on? I don't know with who I'm making relationship with. I don't know background. I don't know personality. I don't know how he's with his family. And this is also a huge problem of shifting, that it's not so good. Because like from my...
But wait, I saw all the pictures in Instagram. I know who you are. I'm kidding. But that's how they do. That's why I've never been in a dating app. Like, how can you choose somebody from a picture?
I was in dating app for 2 years. You know how many experiences I had? They were extreme, from lowest points to the highest point.
I think you're brave, and I support your cause.
I'm very brave. Like, trust me. And you know, I think I'm also very protective, because I never get any kind of big problems, let's say, because I was meeting guys from different countries who are coming to Lithuania, because I was not getting in that area that I will travel somewhere and meet. After a couple years, I started to do that too. But what I experienced that I think that even in a dating apps, you can find a person who truly wants relationship. And if there are personalities who are closed off, like introverts, they won't be social. They won't meet somehow outside or in the nightclubs. I would say to meet guy in a nightclub who is totally drunk and not even understand or remember with who is kissing or dancing, that is worst. When you can meet in a public place, like was not my type. Because I was meeting, like you can imagine, I was meeting unknown person at midnight in the middle of the city where everybody is sleeping, and I was so brave to meet, and it was my experiences that I go through, that I understand that yes, even if a person has time for you at that time to meet, maybe he has also can have good intentions, not just bad ones.
You got lucky. Like I'm thinking, if my daughter will tell me this, I will need a pill. Like straight up, just give me the meds, go to your thing. But I can't go through this with you. I come from up. I've seen too much. No, and in that way, because to be frank, I have many friends that are in successful relationships, and they met on dating apps, and I still don't understand how. But now that you're saying about the being introverted, maybe that's why it has worked for them. Because like I can't imagine, and I agree 1,000%. Like that's one of the first thing I tell to my friends. Like, where did you meet her? No, in the club. Like in the club, there's only trash. You're the worst time. If you're not, because I have this theory that when you're at your worst, you go to the club. So even if you're gonna be amazing later, why are you gonna meet me at my worst?
I would say, at the nightclubs, I don't know what is the culture here in Latvia, but in the nightclubs, if you leave the nightclub with a girl till 1 a.m., it's not a trash. But after 1 a.m., 2 and 3, there are girls who are staying there just to have one night stand. And most of the time, this is my experience from my observation.
That's a good tip. I'm going to save that tip. I've never had that tip before in my head. That's a great tip. It is a great tip. Having said this, I party a lot. Like I know that I'm trashing on the club culture, but I love the club culture. But acknowledging that it's like I'm going to the zoo. It's like I'm not gonna get a wife there. Like, what are we talking about?
No, come on.
I'm just gonna have fun.
My 2 cousins has their husbands from the nightclub.
Okay.
So it was just
lucky.
lucky. And they are lucky. They have like relationship more than 10 years. They have house, family, and everything.
Amazing.
And everything is working. So you cannot say that it's the trash, but you have to be aware where you're going and when you're leaving.
I'll be honest. It's not surprising me that the problem was myself and not the place. Yeah, like you're saying
Yes,
this,
if
the
you
right people in that same place could make good choices and be better people for sure.
like, even though if they didn't make a good choice, but if one has more intentions and remembers what happened, he can give that attention and care and
For
love.
sure, for sure. Well, and some introverted people might need a couple of drinks just to open up. Yeah, that
Yes.
I have the problem. I need these things to shut me down, not to open up. Yeah, like I'm always talking.
And always when I see those girls who are very with a low self-esteem and trying just to show off them, I'm doing a very strange thing that they just dancing to show the guys that they want to have one night stand.
Yeah,
Yes, to touch them and all. And I'm so crazy that I go to them, I start to kiss them and grab them.
yeah.
Then they look at me, then they realize what they're doing, and most of the time they are leaving.
Wow, that's for extreme cases, extreme solution.
Yes, but I know that why I'm doing that intention. It's not just like a game or for, but I understand that now they are their lowest.
Yeah,
And I remember myself, and I wish that someone would tell me, like, stop. If you want attention,
yes.
you don't have to open your legs.
Yeah,
This is not the right way to represent yourself.
yeah,
And when they are lost, usually this is was their choice. And what I really liked at the movie Vulgar, when you represent the main character, even she was at her lowest point, she was inside her apartment. She was dancing, drinking,
yeah,
and she was on her own. What I expected from my experiences that she will go clubbing, she will meet other
yeah,
guys, she will start casual sex with everyone.
yeah,
And it was, for me, it was some kind of understanding yourself, have respect of your body, and put some kind of the boundaries,
yeah,
not cross the limits.
yeah,
Because when you start to discover yourself, there is one point where you can cross all the limits
yeah,
to experience.
yeah.
And I think what you showed in the movie is very important, and this is why I behaving this way when I'm at the nightclub after 2 a.m. And I
Okay.
know that, like, no, you won't be happy in the morning.
Yeah.
You will thinking more low about yourself, not better.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Yeah, like I feel that self-discovery means just getting to know yourself. Like I recently somebody asked me, "Oh, what do you think is that?" Well, when we were in Lithuania, like a guy told me, "Well, I'm a musician. I'm trying to make a living. What would you recommend me?" Because I met other musicians that work with the musician. I said the word 3 times, so maybe a musician is gonna appear here like a peekaboo. And I told him, like, get a diary. I think the best thing that I did for myself is I have a diary where I write. And what you learn is that you think you know yourself, but you don't. And writing really helps you learn about yourself, because memory, you want to believe that you were this kind of person, but what you wrote in the page, and you realize, oh my God, I was here. Oh, this is crazy. Yeah, this is the fear, and this is not a fear anymore. How was the process? And you start reading about yourself, and then you start a self-discovery from curiosity, not from, oh, when I feel this way, I think I know, but it more is like, okay, what I was thinking, how was I behaving, what was I fearing, and that look takes you outside. I think in that example, when you say that, because I've seen it 1,000 times, of the person going to a club and then just sleeping with everybody and this and that, what happens is you're still projecting what is happening. You feel that other people make you feel this way, not that you have found something in yourself that you channel with other people. Yeah, like, because for example, if you like to play, then you're gonna go play outside and you're gonna have fun playing basketball. But if you understand that playing is fundamental for your life, you just grab a basketball and go and throw some hoops. And if there's people, you'll play with other people, but you understand that the basketball is important for you, not the playing itself. But we all start looking at the world outside, yeah, because when we're young, like we are projecting all the time, and then you start bringing that energy back. And that's what I wanted to showcase, and that's why we made it that way, because for me it was important. Like, I realized a moment in my life, very young, I was like, I think in my first very real relationship, I was like 19. And I remember I had a girlfriend that she tells me, oh, because you have become this. And I'm like, yeah. But I felt that was amazing. And she was like, I like you better how you were before. I'm like, what? Like, I couldn't believe that. Yeah. And it's that thing that you discover something that lights you up. And it lights you up because, you didn't design yourself. You're just lucky that you find what lights you up, and then you just go and get light up as much as you can. So for some people it's different, it's difficult to understand it because they're seeing you from outside. But I get them because I didn't even know it myself about myself. So yeah, that's where that came from. I got yeah. So much. I got so much. No, I love to talk about relationships. I realized that I had missed talk about this thing. I'm gonna ask you a question that at some moment I was thinking. What is the most common problem that you feel that you face when you are coaching people? Or the three most common problems? Let's put it that way.
Three. That's so complicated. In general, there is one problem: relationship and toxic relationship. Most of my clients are coming from abusive relationship, or after divorces, or not making a movement to leave that person because of the fear of being alone and lonely. Even they are lonely in the relationship, somehow they feel safe by having partner, and it's a lot of about conditioning of from society, like at least you have to call someone if your, I don't know, car is broke or something like that. So I would say in general it's problems in a relationship that I'm coaching, and I feel myself very well by working with a woman, because when they come to me, there is a place when you are in a relationship and you're pretending most of the time. You are playing the role that won't connect with your core values. And in psychologically, this called cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
It means that I'm doing what my values are against. And this.
But to survive. Like Stockholm syndrome a little bit.
No, it becomes Stockholm syndrome. At the first time, and then what happens, I don't know what I want, and I don't know what I have. I'm just doing what others are saying to me. And this comes from the childhood. My mom told me not to be loud. My mom told me to...
I talk too much.
Yes, or some other conditions that you learn, that you have to hear instructions. And then I'm in a relationship the same one. I'm doing and following all the instruction. But at one point, I understand that I don't want to be in this relationship. But why they are coming to me, I'm also doing tarot card readings and astrology.
I do tarot card reading.
Yeah.
1000%.
Yes. And why? Because they need answers what to do. Because they don't know themselves. No. They don't understand what they want, and they need also support to go there.
Okay.
And from this, we are going to the coaching area, where we are discovering why I made these choices, and also forgive myself for these choices, because I did my best. Because after, when you understand, for example, like me, after 16 years of marriage, that you with a partner that will never fulfill you and will never be what you are wishing for, then you're feeling like, I lost these 16 years. What a mistake I did. And At this point, there is a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, because society will give you a pressure. You have a beautiful marriage, everything is good, you have house, work, like you showed up in your movie. And then if you leave this relationship, what is gonna be? Like, everybody will turn your back to you, and you need a lot of support. So I'm at that the hardest place for them, for support, that everything what you are doing, what you are choosing for yourself is good for you, and you will figure out. So I'm like support system at your lowest when you have some kind of the problems in your relationship.
Do quick question. Does it do the women you're speaking about are in an age range? Is this like a 30 normally 30-year-old women problem,
No.
older, or it happens from 18
No.
till from
My clients are from, I think 2006 they born, because I know the birth date.
wow.
So, like, it looks a lot, but now they are adults.
Okay.
I have clients, they are 65, also when their husband died and they're having a grief.
Yeah.
They also come to me, like, during those hardships in a relationship, when you need support, when you need to talk with someone, how you wish to speak with your partner, I will support you. But and in one or other way, they have a very strong attachment to me, because I'm becoming very close to them. That's why I'm not able to work with men, because most of the time they are offering me a romantic relationship, because
Sending nude pics.
no,
I'm kidding.
when you are you remember yourself when you divorced with your girlfriends.
Yeah.
You was at your lowest, and just imagine now you have emotionally available woman who listens to you, who agree with everything what you are saying.
Oh my God.
Like,
It's
that
the
would
dream.
be a dream.
Yeah,
Yes.
I get
Yes. And even though I put a lot of boundaries about this is a professional relationship.
No nude pics. No, I'm kidding.
No nude pics, but still I see that, like, no, I have to make a distance, and I'm not able. As many times as I was working with men, it's not gonna work. I'm not helping. I'm making it worse.
Okay. In From the little times that you work with men, do you feel in general who is more confused, women or men, when it comes to relationships?
I would say they both are confused. Women's are more faster by making actions.
Okay. Meaning, explain that.
For example, as a coach, I have to find a goal, like what goal you want to reach. And when I'm working with men, they know the goal and they are spinning at the same
Okay.
And women are making steps,
Okay.
And yes, women are spinning also sometimes when they need to understand themselves deeper. But with men, I make a decision now. I make the step, and then you have a call after a couple of days, and he has no idea, and now he will do something else. And it was.
I have many friends like that.
Yes, so I don't know how to measure, but I would identify this way.
Okay. My I'm not a coach, but in my little universe, I feel that women are more confused and men are more guilty. That's how I feel in general. I feel that women have been told a lie about relationships 99% of the time. Like that they're talking of things like, don't you know men? Like I find myself in that conversation many times. And with guys, I find myself in the conversation of hearing somebody trying to tell me that they're not lying, they're just telling a different truth. And I'm like,
they're living in a different universe.
And I'm like, well, call it however you want. Yeah. Well, I think there's other thing. It used to be that I only would see this in Latin America. Now in Latvia, for sure, it's prevalent. In Latin America, since I was a kid, I remember women were some kind of a currency. So like if you have a good woman, you're supposed to be a better man. I don't know why, but let's call it
I
what it
would
is.
agree. I would
Yeah,
agree.
and so there used to be all this hypergamy from the men, especially, was because the more women you would have under your belt, somehow you were cooler. Yeah, and but uh, in Latin America, women know that this is like this. So you're gonna grow up with your father telling you all men lie. They only gonna lie to you. They only want sex. On that. So they're very aware of like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna be with my friends. Are you? And they show up like this is more normal in the relation. When I came to Latvia, it's like no dad sat with her daughter and told them this, or maybe they don't do it. That's because of that they don't talk about it. But maybe now, because the borders are more open and there's more foreigners, I find myself talking that same conversation. It's like, yeah, well, he's lying to you clearly, and they're like, no, he told me that. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And I become I'm a guy at the end of the day. So when I am talking with girls and with guys, I tend to have like a bullish behavior of I told you so, because eh, I'm not gonna be, yeah, well, when I told you that he was lying and you told me that I don't know what I'm talking about, and I proved to be right, I didn't wish for this to happen. So let me give you a hug. I'm not that guy. I'm gonna tell you, oh, you call me crazy. I was always right. Learn it so that you can move on. Guys lie, and then just pay attention to the behavior and put it into account, and tell your guy all the time, don't lie to me, because he's just used to lying from his parents. I feel like it's very socially encouraged every time I'm with guys to lie, because somehow women cannot hear these things. Like somehow, now you cannot say that to your mom. You cannot say that. There's this behavior. It's super, super, but also it's not. It doesn't come from men. Like I want to make that distinction. I've had, because I didn't grow up around men. I grew up only around women. Yeah, and it came from me, from women. Oh no, you cannot say this. I'm like, now I used to tell my mom last year, like, because you lie too much. She's like, I'm not lying. I'm like, it's like, I don't, like a simple scenario. So because people are gonna feel that my mom is a terrible liar, and it's not like that. And I am a little bit anal. I will be honest. My grandma has more grandsons, and they don't live in Latvia, but they come to visit. So one of her grandsons calls me and says, like, he's my cousin. It's like, oh, I'm gonna be there that day. So I want to give the news to my grandma that her grandson, that she loves very much, is gonna come. But my grandma lives with my mom. So I walk to my grandma's, and I tell to my mom, I'm gonna tell my grandma that don't tell her, because she's gonna start every day saying, okay, when is he coming? When is he coming? When is he coming? You're gonna drive me crazy. And I'm like, but then I'll tell her, literally, listen, your grandson is coming, but don't ask me when he's gonna come, because if you do it, I'm never gonna tell you again. You can literally say that. But there's all this, why are we gonna make everything complicated? Just don't tell her. So it's kind of on that spirit that I understand it's not a lie per se. It's just
No.
it's just to make easier life.
I'm now reading on my book club about lies, book about lies. There was a very famous one of the scientists who was discovering and watching this. I would say it's not just about the lie. Why I was different, and what you mentioned, that I was not that naive girl who will tell, oh, let's go to my apartment, have some drinks,
Yeah.
or watch movie
Yeah.
with the wine.
Yeah.
Like I was clear. You want sex?
Yeah.
And like couple days ago, I was talking with my friend, and I started to watch porno when I was 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah.
I understand about how kids are coming, where they are coming from. I understand about sexuality. I understand about the as you mentioned, young guys' needs and what they are up to, how their brains working, because it was always open conversation about in the parties with my parents and everywhere, and I was aware about that and what is going on now, because we are trying to protect our kids from everything, not showing up the reality. Kids don't understand if the 16 years old boy is telling you, oh, let's go somewhere for a walk, and that he can touch you or he can do something. So I think it's not just a lie, it's also knowledge that we have to give to the young people, to the kids, and also to the older ones. Because when you are living in that protective society where there is no sex, where there is no sexuality, where there is no understanding about your body, where you are not able to look at yourself in the mirror and discover who you are, what parts you have, how they are making you feel, then when someone is doing something, of course, all the hormones start to go on, and you will try to think that you're in love. Even you are processing that all the hormone system of your body, what it's very natural. But it's not about love. Love is about emotional intimacy, first of all. And sex is about all the, hormone system.
All the fun. I'm kidding.
Yes, it's fun. It's true, it's fun. But don't expect that all the fun will grow up to something meaningful. It's like, as you mentioned, your work. Yes, it's fun, but there is also a meaningful part. It's a hard part that you have to discover. The same in a work, the same is in a relationship. And you cannot just, he wants to be with me or something. I remember myself at a very young age. I was like 15, 16 years old. And one guy at the, not a nightclub, it's like a discotheque.
We have that in Spanish, discoteca.
Yes. It's like that. And one guy, he just put his arm on my shoulder. And he's marking me.
Okay.
For me, it was very clear understanding about body language, about words, how guys are around me, and I see those naive girls, and I come on, you don't see it? I see that those conversation, who is picking who, when you are on the nightclub, on the discotheque, it's so normal. And I remember myself, I was very rude with the guys, the way you are with your mother. And when guys is telling me no, I'm not that. And because I didn't agree to them to go to their apartment to have a party, they were starting to call me bitch. Yes,
I can understand them. They're not right, but I understand why they called you that way.
Yes.
It's not true, but I know the feeling. I was like, oh, there's a girl here, we want to have fun. And she's like, no, I'm going home. And you're like, oh my God.
I was so crazy.
Yeah.
At my young age, I understand. From a very young age, I understood guys. And there was one guy, and I was very rude with them. I remember I came to the nightclub with my friend, and he was dancing with her, and they were having some kind of the connection. And another girl came, and he started to give more attention to her. And my friend was sad, but I went to him. I asked him his phone number. And then he gave me his phone number, and then we went to my apartment, and I was living with my boyfriend. And I remember I called him, if you want to go with us at my apartment, you have to run to the taxi, and we are waiting for you.
Okay.
And he was running all over the street, and then he entered an apartment where is my boyfriend.
Okay.
And he understood that this is not what he was expected, but it was if you are acting this way with a woman with no respect, without understanding how you can hurt her, I can do the same with you. And this is how I was.
That sounded like fire.
Yes. So I think that The most important is to have an agreement in a relationship, open and honest.
Hmm.
If you want to have open relationship, tell that to your partner.
Yeah.
If you want to go to the swinger parties, tell that to your girlfriend.
Good luck. Yes.
Yes, and
And
you
please shower. Please shower.
no, swinger parties, they are very clear with the rules. They know about all the, possibilities, infections, and everywhere and every other thing. So,
Okay.
like,
I have never dwelled into that, so I have no idea. I'm just, trying to make it. Maybe I'm just hearing things that make me nervous, and I'm
this is
just like,
where
yeah,
you
yeah.
are triggered,
Yes,
and you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I have to do some jokes about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. I can't just sit here like, yeah, swinger party. I have to be funny. I can't be just. I can't be a grown up right now. Yeah.
This is your other ideas and imaginations working.
Exactly, 1,000%. No, yeah, like I agree. I feel that the communication needs to improve. I think a lot of people, what you're saying, because in that case that you're saying, a lot of the times we're talking about different things. Yeah, like everybody's like on a different vibe. It's like because you're telling the story of you called the guy. I'm like, I would be like, of all the girls that I can meet tonight, why do I meet these two? Like I would be thinking, what do I need to learn because there's plenty of easy girls everywhere, and I came to run into these people. Like that's how I would be thinking about it.
But yes,
Yeah.
this is the lesson that that guy has to.
Yeah, he clearly needed it. So yeah, I would. So yeah, like it's funny because I think a lot of the times that what is happening there is a communication problem, and it would have been better if he says like, "Listen, I just want to have fun with as many girls as possible. Are you in or are you not?" And then you're like, "No, okay, good, okay, yeah, okay." Yeah.
But this is where coming, and what we are learning, people wants appreciation. That's why they are on the stage. And if after a couple of drinks they can be on the stage, they want as much appreciation as possible. But this is not discovering yourself. It's like a woman who is acting as a slut in the nightclub that she would get attention.
Yeah.
But you have to understand where is your cup empty.
Yeah.
Because this appreciation what makes you happy, or if it making you happy, it hurts other people.
Yeah.
And if you do that intentionally, you have to understand and accept what is coming after that.
Yeah.
Because if you are hurting multiple women going every weekend at the same night,
Or women are hurting multiple men, or multiple women have hurt me. That also. That's why my first music album is gonna be called Endless Heartbreaks, because I keep reading the wrong signals. Everybody was using me, and I thought I was in a relationship. So, but
how it happened.
Well, like this is one of the things that I learned about myself very early. Like in my culture, and I think I was saying I feel nowadays it's like this a little bit in Latvia. It's very promoted that a guy would be promiscuous. It's kind of like elevates your status. Yeah, like the more girls you can have, the cooler the guy you are. Yeah, like if girls have more guys, their value goes down. Yeah. It's the opposite with guys. I realize I like many girls, but I also like relationships. I don't like one off and gone. Same with work. The people that I work, I want to work with the same people again. I'm gonna shoot another movie with the same actor because I am of relationships, and I think I am of relationship because I grew up between women. And women are like the women in my household, they were all about relationships with all the drama that women create, but relationships nevertheless. So in my experience, everything you do gets better with time, from the sex, from making songs together with somebody, from the communication, from the whatever you're doing. And I discovered pretty early that I just wasn't into, I could be with many people at the same time, but I would need to be in relationship. I wouldn't be feeling, it's just a natural curiosity. If I hit it off with somebody, I want to know what they want to do. I want to know what they're gonna be tomorrow. It's just how I'm wired, I would say. So, but I look like a guy that is gonna fuck and never call again. Yeah. So because of that, a lot of relation girls that I met, that I started to go out, and they were just in for the fuck, and then they broke my heart. It sounds like I'm being a little bit cynical, but it's true. It's the same. I cannot say it with a straight face, but it's the same. It's I would have loved of certain relationships to continue, and even even like recently, I had a relationship that I run into the girl, like, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago on the street, and she was like, "Hi," and I just want to know how she is, but she's in a new relationship, so she cannot talk to me. I don't know why. I wouldn't talk to myself either, but I know why. But yeah, like that. That's
Did
kind
she
of
tell you, or you just created that in your head?
what did she tell me? What?
Why she don't talk with you?
Well, she literally could have stopped and she continued. Like she didn't tell me, but no, and she told me. She told me before that. She had already told me, but I ran on the street after that. She literally told me, we were talking, and she told me, I have a boyfriend, so I wouldn't like him talking to other women, so I don't want to do the same. I'm like, okay. And then I ran into her in the street, and she was like, "Hi." At least she said hi. I mean, being Latvian, I wouldn't have been surprised if she would have just walked by. So yeah, you just get to know somebody, and you have conversations. You know about their dreams and their goals, and then one day you're like, don't know anything
But
about.
why it's like this is what you represented in the movie too, and it was for me so surprised that seriously in Latvia, if I have a guy, I am not able to talk with others.
Yes, they don't. They would block you. They would not only they would stop talking to you and unfollow you on all the social media. They will block you. Literally, literally. Here it's like this, one
Okay.
thousand percent. Here in Latvia, it's 1,000% like that. Not only with women, with guys. Like if you have a business relationship, like I had a business partner when I came to Latvia a million years ago. A guy that is from my, I don't want to say too much, but old. Like he could be 70, like old. Yeah. And at some moment he wanted to move on, and we stopped working together. He unfollowed me from everywhere. I'm like, I couldn't believe this. I was in shock. Maybe he went through some emotional transformation, this and that. But now I've seen it so many times that is that now I think it's like this. Like
But it's really toxic,
I don't disagree on that. Like
because how you can control your partner with who he is able to communicate or not. It's a lot of trust issues. Like, if I have to ask my girlfriend to block other guys from the social media, it means that I'm not trusting her.
I think the women do it on their own. I don't think the guy never told. I think the women do it on their own because they don't want the guy to do it. In my what I've seen from my side, 1,000% from the women, not from the guy. I've never had a guy ever told me anything like this. It has happened with guys to me also. Yeah, but the behavior that I showed you in the 1,000% from the women and on their own, not on the not because somebody said it. It's because they want to do it and they want the equality.
What? Why?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
it's such a crazy culture.
It is.
Like, I'm not able to have now friends. Like, how?
It is. It is. It is.
For me, it's
No,
crazy.
and the other thing that is even crazier is that you don't even say hi to them on the street. Like that's very weird for me. Like right now, there's one girl. I made a music video with her. She was a model. She wasn't the artist, but she was a model in a music video. Like I don't know, 6, 7 years ago. It's like some crazy amount of time. I saw the I know the girl. Like you can wave. It doesn't need to be let's go for coffee. Doesn't need to be anything. But now we live. I know that she has to be living next to my house because I see her all the time. Yeah, she wasn't living here. I've been living here forever. So she came to my place. It's not like and it's not even a wave, and I don't understand why. Like this would never happen in Latin America. In Latin America, you would say hi. You in Latin America, you say hi to the guy in the coffee shop because you always are buying coffee from the guy, and you can't be walking. It's so fucking crazy to walk into a place that you always see somebody and not be like, oh, hello, Raminta. How are you? And it's just like not, we're not gonna be best friends, but a hi, a hello, a ta ta. It's super normal. We had a coffee shop like downstairs, and I was always talking to the people. But it's weird here. This doesn't happen. Like I have a friend from Venezuela that is working with us, and right now he's living here in Latvia, and he told me like in the gym, the trainers, they're looking for business. He's like, man, I've done classes with them. They don't say hi. How are they planning to get more people? Like how they cannot say good morning, hi, like a simple hi. It's like I have to go like, oh, you remember me all the time. I'm like, I know. But I like to be left alone, so that hasn't been that much of a problem for me. So, but it is it's that.
But it's really strange because of course I have some fun with some scammers on the Instagram who are offering me to get married me and all other things,
Of course.
and still I have fun with them because it's fun.
Well, I don't doubt it. Like,
But to have your friends in a common circle, or to have your own friends from I don't know, meet someone outside, I would say yes, I would block some guy who maybe used me, and I feel that I still have that emotional connection. This is what I suggest for my clients, that it's triggering me to see him happy, or
I can't see, but I trigger that into a lot of people because I do what I want and I'm very happy doing it. And I just tell people what I'm gonna go and do, and I always go and do it. So I'm very triggering in that way. But we were literally talking about this maybe 2 days ago. Like that, like I get from my side, I do what I want with who I want, and I say what I want, and I go and do it. Always. For the last 30 years. It's triggering. They don't like it. They want to see you fail and be miserable, and you're not going to do it. But it's not because I have this amazing life that everybody wants. It's because I know what I want, and I go and give it to myself because I'm very easily, I can make myself happy with very little. Yeah. So it's not like I said, oh, I'm going to get a yacht, and now you're seeing me in the yacht and you're being triggered. Nah. It's like, oh, I'm going to go make my movie. And I go and make my movie. And I want to make a movie about this. Yeah, well, what you're doing, okay, but it doesn't matter. I'm just going to go and do it. Because it's going to make me happy doing it. Not if the movie wins 20,000 awards or if the only reason why I would care in any way, shape, or form, and I think that has disappeared because technology has gotten so much better, is because it would open me more doors. So I don't care about awards, but if an award is gonna make that a company is gonna give me $10 million, I care about the award because those $10 million gonna let me hire the people to do the next project that I wanna do. Yeah, that's why I would care. Technology has gotten so good that I ended up, I was always looking for funding to make Vulgar. I ended up funding it myself because technology got so good and I was able to do it for so low. Right now, I'm doing the second one, and the same. It's like literally we have a very little money, and I'm like, but I can squeeze this shoot here, and then to pay certain people, I will tell them, okay, can I pay you in 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, and then I'll figure out the mathematics of the thing. So before I used to want awards, because you project in the award your success. but you realize that it doesn't matter how much money how successful you are in what you're doing. Money, like your life inflates. So I remember being a kid and being happy with a 50 euro watch. Now I'm never gonna be happy with a 50 euro watch. So everything grows. And I was literally talking about like, I don't make your goals outside, like on money or on success, because once you reach it, it means nothing. Like I remember when for me getting 1 million views was like, oh my, I'm gonna get 1 million. It means nothing now. Nothing. And I know that if I would get 1 billion views, I would be like, oh my god, we got 1 billion views. And then it's gonna be, now is the floor, and now the only thing, all that thing, all the external inflates. So the only joy comes from really connecting with yourself, and then the experience is the pay. Is shooting the movie the pay? Is that I made a movie about my own life, telling my own story, and now I'm talking to you. That is what makes life absolutely crazy and amazing. It's like, how is this happening? Like, who could have thought about this madness? And I have a podcast. What? Why? Who? Where? You understand? So,
Yes.
I don't even know what I was talking about, but yeah, I got lost.
Yes, I think that what I would like, what you talked about, to sum up in some kind of the boxes, what I really like to do, it's when you are starting to control. Because money is about control, because this is what you can measure, you know?
Yeah.
Our views are in control because you can measure. And when you stop controlling and you start to flow and accepting what will come with what I like to do, what I feel, it's also the same in a relationship. Because in a relationship, when you look at control side, it's all what society is projecting on you. Okay, you have to, you know, in Lithuania, what is you finish your school, you go to the university, you find your boyfriend, you get married, have kids, buy a house, you know, and work all your lifetime. Like this is all the story that you have, and that you're supposed to live, because society is showing this way, and you don't feel it because what, it's measurable, you know. It's really very clear when you are at school, you know, when to start, when to finish, when is the test, when is an exam, what mark you got. It's easy. And when you want to measure in a relationship, or when you want to measure what you really want, what is in your soul, it's not measurable. Because what you mentioned, you know, you have to accept negatives of your girlfriend, but this is also measurement. Because at one point, most of the time, when you get from the job angry or tired, when you have some conflict during the day, you will come home, and that like disorganized your girlfriend will piss you off, and you will feel angry again. But when you are successful, when you reach your some kind of inner goal that you want, you have a good conversations, you have a good contact with your, I don't know, friends, colleagues and others, and you go back home and you won't see those disorganized behavior of your girlfriend.
But I want to explain something a little bit more. When I say taking the bad, I also understand this. On that disorganization, that comes a positive also. Yeah. Because of that, she's a great improvisator. And because of that, she is very spontaneous. And because of that, she has a power to move very, very fast and make decisions at a speed that she couldn't do if she would have the velocity that I have, because I have to check 24 boxes before I do certain things. So what I want to say is that that negative is not a negative in itself. It's a negative for myself.
Yes.
Like
yes.
yeah.
Yes, but I just want to show in a relationship. For me, for example, negative is being late, and
Okay.
I hate when people are late. And I'm the person who try not to be late most of the time, and this is what triggers me. But it triggers me more when I'm not accepting myself and when I'm doing what I don't like. You know, when I causing myself more a lot of stress, and people don't understand most of the things that in the relationship. Yes, communication is very important to express what you don't like, to express how you feel in a relationship, but at the same time, you have to understand that this is about you, not about your partner.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. 1000%. So yeah, now let's move a little bit on the movie. I haven't. One of the things that the team was telling me is like I haven't talked too much about the movie, and I haven't done it because it was in the cinemas. You don't want to give away the plot, but who cares? I mean, come on.
Oh, it will be more interesting.
Yes, yes, yes,
I
yes.
know that like you as a organization wanted to hold it, but when you open it, then people really wants to watch it.
Yes.
So
Let's do it. So what was your tell me about your experience watching the movie. How did you feel? What did you see? How crazy I am? Give me the full diagnosis.
about your personality, not
Yes,
showing.
because it's in the movie somehow.
Yes. When I saw all the movie, the first question was why you decided to make this movie with this scenario.
The well, for me the main thing was the cultural clash of moving to Latvia. Yeah, that when I started, let me be very, very clear. I love Latvian women. I think they're the best. I have never dated a Lithuanian girl, never met them too late. But that quality that of independence is just so sexy for me because I come from a culture that women I can't say this here, but that they're more like there's like that princess treatment, and when I say Latvian, I'm very specific of Latvian because the Latvian Russians also have that princess treatment,
Yes.
and which is fine because a lot of people like it. And there's a lot of guys that are way better than me, so keep them all and go to them. But I really, really like the that women were also passionate about what they do and what they can bring to the table, and of goals and of changing the world and this and that, because that has been my conversation in my head all my life. So the way I was navigating relationships before, I felt I was a little bit like Batman. Like in the morning, I would be this kind of person that I'm family oriented and talking nonsense and doing these social things that I really don't care, all to be able to dress up as Batman and go and fight for crime and then do the movies that I want, the music videos that I want, shoot the things, the theater plays, whatever I wanted to do. So when I came here, I was able to just put everything together and do it. But at the beginning, the conversation was very difficult because, and this is why Vulgar is named Vulgar. I'm a what they call hot-blooded guy, so I am a very sexual person, and somehow um, sex was is very frowned upon here. Still, I would say, somehow, and for me, it's just so much fun. It's great, and as long as you say, we don't have like wrong expectation, like different expectations, because I'm promising you that I'm gonna build this, I don't know, crystal castle where you only will be there and I will only sing to you. Yeah, like as long as I can be honest about who I am, it's a wonderful thing. But of course, I'm right now talking about too many things, and I wanted to concentrate in that first cultural class of somebody that has to just open to the idea that sex might be good for you, just from the physical standpoint, just from the whatever, from the pleasure of life. I also feel that you cannot have, because that's why I have the line, the storyline that she would also become somebody that that he tells him you have a beautiful creative talent, because I feel that I'm very creative, that the creative instinct is the same sexual instinct, and you tend to be, in my experience, creative people tend to be the horniest, and my theory with my own subjective mental research that took like 1 second. That's because it's the same energy. So that's why I wanted to talk about that. And vulgar is named vulgar because at the beginning I met many girls that would use this word. That's vulgar, and I'm like, in my country, is vulgar, but that word is old. It feels like it's 200 years old. Like I was never in a conversation. We have the word, but I was never in a conversation that people would use that word. And here everybody would use it. And I would be like, what is it with this word? It's a great title. After I committed, I'm like, oh, it's a great title. So yeah, that's why I wanted to. I don't know if that answers the question, but
So the meaning in general was to show the pleasure of sex.
yes, that women can. That there's nothing wrong of as a woman to tell yourself that fucking is good. That's it.
Because most of the time it's not good.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure. It's like, and but first you have to believe that it can be good, so you can start finding it out for yourself. And you need a cultural support to go and explore. If everybody's telling you, if your parents have been telling you, oh, if you're gonna be fucking, you're a slut. And in Latin America, it used to be the same. This was a movie that I wrote also in Latin America first. I wanted to shoot this movie in Venezuela, and then I adapted it to here. But it was the same. Somehow, if I fuck 20 women, I'm the greatest guy. In one night, I'm like this superhuman guy. But if a girl does that, she's a slut. And the thing is this. They believe it. Yeah, like.
But all the society believes it, and I think that.
But no, because wait. I never believed that because I was fucking a bunch of bitches, I was superhuman. It's not true.
You just have more, exercises.
Self-awareness. Like if you like, because this is another thing that I'll tell everybody. It's harder to be 10 years in a relationship with one woman than fucking 100 women in 10 years. Because what is hard is to have the relationship. Getting somebody...
No. What is hard?
Okay.
What is hard in this way? I would go back to the sexuality.
Okay.
To make pleasure for 10 years for the same woman is harder. Because
sure.
You have to discover her. You have to find something new because it gets bored, always the same.
No, it doesn't.
For 10 years.
I can have more. I've been 13 in a relationship. It's like, I feel, this is why I also put it, there's also why in the movie she needs to self-discover. Yeah.
Yes.
I think if you don't know what you want, you always want different things. Yeah, because you are hunting for, maybe I haven't, maybe tomorrow there's gonna be something fresh that is gonna change my life. Yeah.
But I would say differently, especially when we talk about sex. If you always get apples on the table and you never taste orange, how you know what is the taste of orange?
That's the argument that gay guys always tell me. How don't you know? I know that I'm not gay. This argument doesn't work.
It works.
It's like, you have never been with a guy. Well, how don't you know that you're gay? Well, because I'm never... I get your point. Because to be fair, I found what I liked. It took me time. I'm not gonna say that I was born knowing, this is what I want for the rest of my life. No, I actually made mistakes. No, it's not mistakes because you have to learn. Like it's not even.
It's discovery.
It's discovery. So in a way, you realize, this was important for you. Then you're on the other side of the coin, and you said, no, I don't care about this. You're on the other side of the coin. You're like, oh my God, did I make a mistake? Let me go back. Like you have to have your own journey. But I'm at a stage of my life that I know what I want, and I wouldn't change it for anything. And it can come, all the women that I dreamed when I was growing up, but I know it's not going to be as good. I know it because I understand what I am, and I understand how difficult it is to be able to find the people that fulfill what you are, and not fulfill because it's their task to fulfill. I say fulfill in an objective sense, like, you know how hard it is. Like right now I'm working with the actor of Vulgar, Gabriel, and we're working again. You know how hard it is to find somebody that is committed, that is not going to take other projects and just obsess about your project and push you in the text. Because 99% of the time when I'm working in anything, everybody comes with a bunch of ideas, and I can clearly see, because I obsess about my own idea, that they just don't obsess about anything, because they ask things that are always on the surface. Yeah. So I'm always hunting for better ideas, because I always feel that the best idea needs to win. But it is very hard to find somebody that is going to sacrifice their own life, their own time, to commit and to explore, to get as deep as it needs to get the best idea. And I do that. And when I find somebody that does it, I click like this, because Gabriel is like this. Yeah. And I've worked with many, many actors, many actors. He's the first one that has that commitment. There's another one, but he's too far. He's now a dad. I'm going to throw a shout out. Sebastian, he was very good. I worked with him he had a very small role, but he super surprised me, because I arrived to the set and I couldn't recognize him. That blew my mind. It was very, very good. But so when you find the same in your relationships, personal relation, you know how hard it is. Like it's there's a lot of people that they come into relationships wanting solutions for themselves. They don't think what they can bring to the relationship. There are some people that they care about certain things, and I just don't care, and I'm never gonna care, and it's a waste of my time and their time to try to, explore. And because I just literally need somebody that loves that I work, and that's very hard to find, because a lot of people don't like to work themselves, so they cannot understand people that are like me, committed to working all the time. Yeah. So and because they need to join, because I need to see them, because if I love somebody, I want to see them the majority of the time, and they need to work with me. So it's a complicated thing, but you start learning about yourself, and you have to make those. Yeah, the discovery within you also helps you with the discovery. I think I'm beating the same drum, but it's again connecting about yourself. Yeah. So of course, in Vulgar, I express it to a sexual discovery of a woman, but they go together. She learns more about herself in both things, if that makes sense.
Yes, it makes sense, and what I really like that her understanding about sexuality and understanding what was projected on her, like if you have that jewelry on your belly, you are a slut.
Yep.
Even if you don't have a relationship, but at the same time, it's like some kind of the label that was put on her head, then she was following unconsciously. And then she started to discover by this small example, yes, to listening to the conversation when they were having like sex after the party. And I think after that, she started to look at herself differently. And it was show up like looking at myself into mirror.
Yeah.
Yes, and seeing what I see. And also at the same scene, her husband came, and she see that he is not even looking at her. Mm-hmm. No matter that she's discovering herself, discovering her body, understanding, trying to find some kind of the pleasure of accepting yourself and seeing yourself, and there is a partner who is just walking by, not even taking a look when do you like my yes, and he was like and going again to his work and giving no attention. And this is what I was also, what showed me a lot about the relationship in general, what is going on usually when people at some point are losing connection and intimacy between them, and this is a place where some other man can come. And I think this is also very important to what you showed. Like, yes, where her husband started to see her when she was representing weddings, she was already gone with other and it was a loss. And what you asked, how I was feeling, because in so many places this movie connected with my journey and my decisions and my life and my discovery of myself. After there came up so many emotions in me that I was sitting in the car. Movie ends about the midnight. I was driving in the city at the night. I went to the gas station to buy cigarettes for a smoke because it was too much for me. I found myself in the middle of the night in some park and like, Raminta, what are you doing? You again putting yourself in a danger. Like,
Wow.
like this is what was my expressions, because I think that this movie is made so good that in every episode, every short clips, you can get deep by understanding, by opening, by showing what is going on, and understanding also a lot of things about yourself, about relationship, and connecting multiple dots. So for me, it was I would say, in other movies, most of the time I see one thing, like one meaningful thing, one message that they want to tell. But in this movie, I saw so many different things that you can talk about, that you can, just show the episode and talk about that episode by with all the relationship knowledge, psychology, and all other things. So for me, it was surprisingly deep with so many things. I cannot even, put it in one box or saying one message that it would bring. So that's why I wanted to hear what is your message that you wanted to show, because for me, it's so much.
Yeah. Well, first of all, whenever I'm gonna be down, I'm gonna be playing this clip so that I remind myself of how amazing I am. Thank you for those words. No, like what you're saying is true. Like I had, like when I talk about the movie, the first question, I'm talking about the plot and what was the drive. But I think every movie and every, I start digging. I'm discovering what is happening in the relationship. When I write, that's what I do. Like it's like to tell you that all these things that you're saying, I had them on my head while I was writing, is just nonsense, because you start in something very superficial, but then you start trying to understand, okay, what's happening here? What was I doing here? What was the problem here? Why is she reacting like this? What could happen here? What are her fears? Why is she hiding? What is he hiding? Does he, and these were conversations with the actor, does he falls in love or he doesn't fall in love? All this conversation. Like, how is the husband feeling? What is this, that. So you start digging deeper. And I wanted to dig deep in the personal level. Yeah, like I wasn't, this was a very personal movie in the sense that it's not about how she's seen by society, it's how she reconnects with herself. Because one of the things that I was telling you is like, passionless people have passionless lives. Yeah, so if you want to reconnect with your passion, you gotta, outside, you have to reconnect with your own passion. Like I remember one moment I was talking with my mother, and she's asking me, we interpret dreams and we talk about dreams all the time. And she's telling me about, I don't know, 1,000 years ago, about this guy. And he's like, why do you think that, like, passion? And I say, well, passionless people have passionless life. If you're not passionate about anything, how can you expect to meet any woman and find it beautiful and find anything? But if you're passionate about everything, it doesn't matter who runs in front of you, you're gonna find the passion in whoever's in front of you, because you're gonna find that, oh, it's so cute how she's missing one finger. Like, this is literally how it happened. I'm making it as a joke, but it's true. You start finding, because you understand that it's kind of like it's like a conscious model that you, it's like you're wearing I can always wear the glasses of, okay, why is something bad, but I can always wear the glasses of why this is exciting and why is this conversation important for me. And when I'm telling you literally, well, I made a movie in Latvia of a prom that I started in Latin America. The movie had a completely different name. Now I went on in Lithuania, and now you're here doing a, it's just so, it's crazy how the world, the life works. Yeah, that is so random. From an idea that I had, I remember a shoot. It wasn't with this movie. I remember one music video I made in the middle of nowhere in my country, where there's like only poor people, and it was like a little township that is on the water floating, and we're like there, sunset, all the mosquitoes, 50 degrees, it's crazy. And I'm there, and all the kids are super happy that we're there, so everybody's there. It's like we're like rock stars. And I'm like, I was thinking about this video in my living room in front of a white wall. This idea, look at the life that brought, yeah, like the life experience that brought to myself. Ended up with my friends, the police stopped. That's the gift that keeps on going. Like that experience was crazy. The same is with Vulgar. Started as a completely different thing for a completely different reason, mutating into and it has made so much life till we're talking right now. This is the process of a creator. As a creative artist, yeah. And then I am very interested in human behavior. So I'm like, okay, why did this girl did this? Okay, so Angelica, what was she thinking? Why did she do this? And then always the north is the truth, because I write from my experience. Of course, I create a metaphor. Not everything. The girl name that I met, her name wasn't Angelica, but Angelica because it's Angelica of an angel and this and that, and the original name was Angela because it was in Spanish, Angela. So, but I go back to, okay, why was she taking this decision? How did it happen? Why, where it happened? That, and then the north becomes the truth. It's not if, it's this is what happened, and I'm just trying to understand the layers. Okay, maybe she was feeling this way. Maybe, but she had this talent. If she would have connected. So that's how I approach, because yeah, like to it's a discovery. It's just a discovery. You just dig as deep as you can, and the commitment is the focus on the time. I have 3 months to do this movie. I'm just gonna be obsessing about this, and I'll do the best. And the better I get to that, the deeper and faster I can dig. Yeah, because right now I have less time to shoot this movie that we're gonna shoot in September, but I know I can commit deeper, because the main problem with the first movie is that you're just, in my head, the main problem is I need to finish this movie. There's too many stories of directors that they don't finish their movies, and I just wanted to, there was a group of people committed to telling this story, and I needed to take it home. Let's put it that way. And then I sat with everybody talking about, and I don't think she would do this. I would think of and then they deep, and then you go as deep as you can, and then there's a movie.
There's a meaningful movie, because it's very feels that going deep into the personalities, because why I like how I imagine that you have some kind of the story that you want to represent, and you have to, shorten them in the movie. Because for me, usually what is the most complicated is I want to represent also, like, for example, my life story.
Yeah.
And I remember from my childhood small details, small things. And when you start to write, then you remember more details and more details and more details, and this happened and this happened. That's why you are going there and there. And and when you put it into the movie, now I see that you dig deeper in every episode by why. Yeah. The most important question, why you're doing that. Yeah. And that's why it's so connected with the people who are watching, because they also have to ask why.
Yeah.
And also, when they answer the question why, they have to accept themselves at that situation.
Yeah.
And I think this is a discovery that, like, the main character, Angelica, was going through. And also, by answering why, she get deeper into herself, understanding herself, discovering her body. And I really like the connection, like, with the taste, with the food, and with the body. Like,
Yeah.
it's so important to understand all the sensations that you have, because what I would say, it's not about being negative and positive. I think it's being numb is the most complicated, when you feel nothing.
Mm.
Because when you're negative, at least you are negative. At least you have, like, anger, disgust or something. But when you are numb and you're feeling nothing, no matter what's going on around you, I think for me, her discovery was from being numb to start to feel something.
Yeah. Yes, she's dormant. Yeah. She's
Yes.
asleep. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but what you're saying there, well, I always say that the plot is kind of like a recipe. I think movies are basically a hypothesis that you say, if you're here and this happens, you end up there. When I'm creating a story, yeah. So my hypothesis is very connected with what you're saying. It's not by chance that the worst sex that I've had in my life was with a vegan. So I don't know, man. It's true, but I'm not saying that this is implied. I'm just saying that to be able to, like, I think part of the complication in sex is messy. Yeah. And to be able to allow yourself to feel and let go, you have to have a degree of, I'm going to taste some things that are not that yummy. I have to move in ways that I'm not used to move. And that was my, and I'm going to try to be myself. That was the idea behind specifically the alcohol. I feel modern days, I feel a lot of people, when I say people, I mean specifically women, because women in the conversation is very negative. Everything that is sex related. And it comes from Christianity. Yeah, like in Christianity, women are supposed to be moms, and that's it. Yeah, that's what's celebrated. That's what the Virgin Mary is on the top. But the Virgin Mary, that's a different conversation. Different
conversation, because I would disagree. If you look at the Christianity, Magdalena was a slut who Jesus helped.
Yeah, but she's not in heaven. That's the point. That the one that is in heaven is the Virgin Mary. That the only thing, she's a mom. She didn't even had sex. I mean, come on.
She was cheated. Come on.
Listen, I'm not trying to bang on religion or anything.
No, I would say it depends on who are reading the book.
Yes, true. I'm a guy of many prejudice. I will agree on that. But what I wanted to say is that in this atmosphere where women find themselves struggling to say to themselves, I just need sex. Sometimes I just need. I remember in the original script, the best friend had a line that was like, you just need somebody to fuck. Sometimes you just need somebody to fuck. As simple as that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I had a conversation, so I will stop you there, with my friend, and he was telling guys, come on, like, his nephew wants to get married, I want to get married. And he's telling him, if you want sex, just get a slut, like buy a prostitute. Why you're getting to the marriage? Because your hormones are getting out.
Don't do it.
Yes, this is the same for the woman. It's not that we don't want sex or we don't need sex. We have the same physical body.
Yeah.
We have the same physical needs. What I would say, and
I disagree. I think women need more sex than men. That's my theory.
Yes, because you're physically not able to do the sex as much as we want. Like,
and every time, and I've seen myself having an orgasm. I've seen women having an orgasm. My experience is nowhere close to women. Women are having a completely different. I don't know what's happening there, but I'm not having the same. I look like I got shot. They look like they're transcending to the heavens.
But that's true.
Yeah.
But that's really true, and I think that it's very important to say, when you never had a true orgasm, then you think that you don't want sex.
Yeah.
But when you discover, this is what I'm telling, when you always taste apples, when you was never fulfilled sexually, then you think that you don't need, it's not important. Like, what you are a tool for the man to get pleasure most of the time.
Yeah.
But when you cross that limit and you truly understand yourself and you truly come and go to that other space during that, then you want sex.
Yeah.
And it's very normal, and you understand what it is. But what I'm learning most of the time by working with other women, that what is happening, usually they come just during the masturbation, and they think that this is the highest level that they can reach, because you never have a right man next to you who truly can fulfill this your sexual need. And then you are not talking, because you are scared to discover that part, because you are scared to have like one night stand or casual sex, or man who truly wants to make you come.
Yeah.
And then you are, you close your legs, you don't want to open, you don't want to let them do something, what they learn, what they want, and just to make you to have pleasure.
Yeah. And that's why I put it the alcohol there, because I feel alcohol helps people to loosen up a little bit. But I don't know if it helps. They use it. But to be fair, I put it alcohol not as in I'm just gonna pass out drunk, yeah, which is, we've seen it, and it's the case that you're saying about the girl that is dancing, getting all that attention. The next day, she wasn't on her right mind. I'm just talking about something to loosen up, to have fun, to open to the experience. The alcohol is very good when you, especially that's when you're young, when you're trying to open socially, yeah, because I remember, like, and sometimes still happen, that I would go out. I would go out. I'm like, I need a drink just to talk to this lady, because she's too pretty. I just can't even talk to her. Yeah, like give me something. I don't need to be wasted, but I need something to to make the, poof.
But I would say that you will never have such a good sex when you are drunk. No
For
matter
sure.
it's one or two glasses.
No, for sure.
Like, this is also what how I would represent. Yes, at the beginning to make a connection, but the real, like, meaningful sex is just when you have a connection, when you have a relationship,
For
and
sure.
when you can be open to the person.
I'm in the morning. That's why I put in mine in the morning. Because I agree. Like, it takes also, there's a physical aspect. That's why 100%, if you're the same as you wouldn't play your best football game if you're drunk, and if you've been drinking, you wouldn't perform the best in sex as a woman, as a man, if you're intoxicated, I think. And that's why in the big scene that they're together, they're just not drinking, because I didn't want it to make it about somebody that got, no, this woman knows what she's doing full on. She just understands that this is important for her, and that she doesn't need to sacrifice, because that's one of the parts that I feel that it has been adopted and accepted in culture, that somehow, well, this, it's not that important, and I disagree. So that's how the movie starts. That's how the movie came to be, and yeah, I feel the plot that I developed was what I felt like you need to connect with certain things from life that is gonna make sex easier. Not easier, better. It's gonna be something that you're gonna. I'm gonna even tell you this. I have friends that they're like germophobes, and I would think that they have to have the worst sex in the world, or some kind of a weird kind of fetish. I'm like, oh, maybe this is the people that you hear that they get peed on or whatever, like something like that, because it's such a necessary, like, sex is not, because I feel sex is just not clean. So you have to be open to, okay, this is not gonna be, I'm not gonna smell like fucking Gucci Flora perfume. This is not, if you want to smell like that, just take a shower, but don't have sex, like, because you're gonna be sweating and moving and jumping, hopefully. So yeah, that's how this came to be, and the word came, as I told you, just because I have heard it so much here. I don't know, is it a popular word in Lithuania too?
No,
No. Yeah.
no, I like not in my circle because um I, as I mentioned, with the all the sexual life, I was um, like, I know it from my childhood, and it was that my best friend was working in the strip club, and I was dancing pole. I'm still will dance. I had a promise.
Okay.
Pole dance. So and the people who are coming there, they are also discovering themselves, and I know that other side of the society, who's usually called sluts or prostitutes or all other ways. I never hear this. What I told most of the guys was calling me bitch.
Yeah.
This was more common to us,
Yeah.
like in our society, but for the other reasons. But no, it's not so popular. But and I think because of my environment in general, because I lived in a very open environment with a lot of knowledge from the young age. I don't know why my parents decided that, or like not just my parents, but also all the circle where we were living. So for me, it was not that way. But I remember just when I went through the university, they called me that I'm too loud. And I saw that also in one or other way, that because she was around the different culture, because her friend was from the different country, and this is how she learned to discover other things. Because if she would stay in the same circle, like around the same people, she will never get to know that guy and never get to know and discover herself.
Yeah.
So for me, it's also very important to open the minds. And even when you hear, you notice that word when you came here, vulgar,
Yeah.
because you discovered, and then you start to think, okay, what it's about. So the same I see in her life is when you are open to the society, not closed up. And this is what I really like right now in Latvia and in Lithuania a lot, because Lithuania from the beginning was the country that invited others to live in. We started to build Vilnius by writing letters to other countries that people will come here. We are very multicultural, even we are living in the Eastern Europe. From the beginning, and we have multiple different societies living, especially in Vilnius. And what I see, that people are open up, and more people are living in a relationship with the partners from different countries, from different cultures. And when you have that need of discovery, I think then you start also to understand what you like and what you don't like. And I really like, and I mentioned before that part about the food, when she was learning to taste the different food, and then she started to put like chocolate on the table, and her husband don't recognize her. And I was like, I remember myself with the boyfriend that I am now, when he first time cooked food for me, and it was like so good. And it was not about food, it was all the experience. But of course, he likes more spices, not like we Eastern Europeans. But I remember that feeling that, it's other level of intimacy too.
Yeah.
And and when I look at my parents too, I see that my dad, from the childhood, he never liked any food that was good for him. He didn't eat, and it was the problem with him from the childhood. But he loves my mother food, and they are in a marriage for 40 years, and every time the best food he don't like to eat in the restaurant. And I think that it's a joke, but in a couple there's supposed to be one partner who cooks and other who will eat. So I'm the one who is eating because I don't like cooking.
In my house, that applies. My dad cooks and my mom eats. well, now she cooks for herself. She has a very specific diet. So, but yeah, like what you're saying about the experience about the eating is just, it's not only about the food, it's about the experience. And I am that kind of person. Like yeah, I like restaurants. I'm not gonna say no, but I have one thing. I like the same all the time. But since I'm like tiny, if I like something, I just don't change it. It's just very weird for other people to see me do that. So, for example, I remember I used to go to my grandma. My grandma would make me fish and rice. But she gets bored of doing the same fish and rice. So she tries something new. I'm like, why am I having this? It's like, no, so that you can. I like the fish and the rice. I
But
don't.
this is where I see your personality.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
in all the areas you
Ah,
like that, and I'm the person who is discovering everything.
yes.
That's why, like, for me, sexuality is about also discovering.
Okay.
Even with the same partner, I have to add something new. I'm not talking about some tools or BDSM.
People. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Not people, like, but this is where also what is very important to connect with the person who can offer you what you need.
Yeah.
And this is also very important because for you, you know what you like and you want at the same time on your plate, in bed, in the work,
That's
everywhere. You don't like like changes.
Yeah. No, I because I feel nothing is like black and white. I would say I'm 95% the same, 5% change. I also have the feeling that it might be a seasonal thing, because when I used to be like when I was younger, I didn't know. I had still certain methodical things that I would repeat, but in general, I was way more open to experimenting. Now, lately, I feel like, for example, with work, one of the things that has happened is that technology changed, and now making movies is easier. And because of that, my dream was to making movies. So I'm like, I've said this the whole year. I felt like, when Spider-Man gets bitten by the spider, it's like you have the superpowers. The first thing he goes and do is just swing. It's not what is the responsibility, what is gonna happen tomorrow, are you gonna be swinging forever? I just got bitten by the spider, like, I don't know, 5 years ago, and I was looking for that spider. It didn't came and now I'm at a stage that I'm like, oh, I can do this. I can tell personal stories and have this type of. So I want to do it and do it and do it and do it. And I'm guessing, that's what I'm saying, that it might be also seasonal. That at some moment I will be like, okay, now it's time to back down and see. But I had a lot of energy, like bottled up of. In reality, I wanted to do what I'm doing, and I've been doing it for 5 years, and I just can't get enough. I want more. I was literally like, we have 3 months. Can we shoot a movie? I talked with the actor. We're finalizing the dates, and hopefully we're gonna do it. It looks like we're gonna do it. So it's because we can, and because we want to. Yeah, like and that is a little bit of the journey that has happened with the movie and with the things that we're doing here. And conversations like this makes me feel. This is why I make movies, because in the internet they're gonna write whatever, I don't care, but these conversations are fun. Also, I've had very feisty conversations. I remember one lady that I should have made a podcast with, and we never did. I don't know why I'm not even gonna say that she was a lesbian, but she was. And we had a very feisty conversation about that, but it's good. These are the things that for me are interesting. It's hearing what you have to say, thinking. I know I'll have a dream, and I'll try to understand what I understood, what I wasn't paying attention, what was new. I'll see the podcast and see, oh, I forgot to tell her this. It's like these kind of things are what make the journey so pleasurable. The people that you meet, because it's the journey and the people. It's both things. Yeah, that you're with, and like we had a great premiere in Lithuania. I really enjoyed it because I have a good friend there. Well, two good friends, the both actors that are there. So it just makes everything like I don't know if they got it that way, but I felt I was honoring them, and if that's why it was important for me. So, yeah. What did you think about the music?
About the music, I don't give attention. I'm about the music. I am more about the scenes and body language. This is where is my like what I like and what I'm eating in the movie is
Yeah,
what I really liked that there won't be too long conversations.
yeah,
It was very at the right place at the right time at the right moments, very simple. And I like that there was so many body language
yeah,
that you can understand and be clear even without hearing the words.
yeah,
And this is so important because people, what we talked at the beginning, women usually are listening to the words, not looking at the actions. And here there was not so many words, but you can understand everything.
yeah,
For example, even after at that party, he was sitting next to her and pushing her to join the party, not just like leaving her away. And it's so important because Simone is coming from the area where just like having pleasure and enjoying, and now somehow he is getting attention towards her. And like most of the time, if he would like, this was the first moment when I understand, okay, so this is how all the scenario will be built. He has opportunities. Of course, he used that after that, but still he gives time to her.
yeah,
And how it's important to women to understand that when you are even in the meeting, in the party, in the nightclub, whatever you are, how much attention man is giving to you when he has multiple options around. And this is a true value when you can start to count. And these simple things that I saw made me more connected with the movie. Because from the first scene when he came up and take off the shirts, it's already showed that he is open and he is okay with his body, and he is like good with everything, and this was what was triggering Angelica. And this is where the tension starts to grow, and I just love these parts.
good. Well, we obsess like in the acting always, because I used to teach acting, so and I feel acting is the worst right now nowadays. And I make jokes that when I see bad acting, is a failure of the writer, of the actor, of the coaching actor, of the director. Everybody's involved there. Nobody's, but like celebrity killed the actor. Like everybody, all the actors wants to be celebrities. They don't want to be actors anymore, and you can clearly see it because the profession is about what you can give from yourself to the character. And you can clearly see that in mainstream movies and even in Europe, the actors are seeing the character as something that is going to give them something. And there's always this kind of like that they could be doing more, bigger, better, louder, and they don't do it because. So we had endless conversations, and of course Katrina was her first movie, so the conversations are different. I also feel that Gabriela and I basically grew up in the same city. It's a difference of I'm older, and but we have the same language onto how approach the job, the work. So for me it was a joy because you get all the experiences. New actor that has never done anything. The other one that is half Lithuanian, half Venezuelan. But like Katrina had done things, not when I say never done anything that big, like I mean movies. So you need to paint an arc. When you have smaller characters, you just need to make a scene. Normally you don't have an arc for a character. So it's just interesting to work with all these kind of different people, and that's how that came to be. But I love that, as I told you, I'm going to watch this podcast if I ever feel down. And for whoever work with us, I'm going to tell them, like, look, so that they can feel better. If they don't, why don't you feel better? But yeah. But Raminta.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Thank you for coming. I think we had how long have been? It's good. We have been 2.5 hours. Yeah, like I was craving. I'm realizing this today talking with you. I was craving talking about relationships because I feel I haven't shut up the whole conversation. I feel I've been in my head. Let her talk because I have so much to say. But it's exciting to talk about relationships. The beginning of my life was just focused on relationships. I just care about relationships. I was obsessed with women and relationships. So
And now?
with work, like now it's with work. I have great relationships and I'm happy, but it's like in reality, it's like that thing of like that finally I'm able to do what I like to do is it's not what I like, it's what I like, but it's what I dreamt. It's crazy to be a kid looking at movies and then you are the guy that is making it's crazy. The experience is great because nobody around me was doing it. Yeah. So
You know why I asked? Because what I talk a little bit about the different cultures, what I see that, like, I don't know, maybe in the South where there is more heat, guys are very focused on one goal. And I think, like, when you say I was just in a relationship, you figure out relationship part, then you are focused on the job.
yes.
Yes.
Yes, but I do many jobs. To be fair, I make music, I make movies, I make a lot of stuff. So that's the cool thing about making movies. Also, that is a big canvas. You don't have to just choose one pen. You have like 20 pens because you can learn from sound to acting to because I'm also an actor to singing to writing. I wrote the movie. It's like it's a big canvas where you can basically drop all your creative talents in and but it's amazing to do it and that's I feel the yeah this the shift has been from there. I also pay attention to my health, so I would say but the main thing right now has been work like for sure 1000% because yeah, living the dream. As long as it is a dream, I'll continue living it, and it's amazing. So yeah, but I'm so happy that you came all the way from Vilnius to talk to us. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm making the new movie is based on the tarot, and I'm not gonna say the name right now. I'm gonna tell you I'm doing a movie that explores the 12th card, which is the Hangman, and it's a movie about grief and somebody that is grieving and I'm right now I have written 2 acts. I have all the treatment of the movie, and when I would love to talk about to you when I have it a little bit more. And next time we have to talk about the tarot. I didn't know, I would have had a tarot here, and we do a reading contest. I read to you, you read to me, and then we see.
Yes,
But I didn't know.
definitely.
Next time we'll do it
Yes.
1000%.
With the Hangman, it would be very interesting. I interpreted it a little bit different, so I would love to
Yes.
to watch.
No, and I have a completely different way too. So it's gonna be interesting because that's gonna be for sure. But I think those are the best when you're not the classical tarot rider white like trained that okay they're supposed to be, but that you have had your own experience with the cards and then you have your own voice that might be a little bit different, but adds to the soup. Yeah, to the potion. For yeah, but super. Thank you for coming.
Thank you
Amazing
too.
conversation. And
Thank
yeah, thank you, guys. This one is working. No. Okay. So guys, thank you for tuning in. Tell me, do you want me to talk more about relationships? Yes or no? Today we had the wonderful Raminta. I'm trying to do it the best I can. And as you could see, I couldn't shut up. I'm not even apologizing. I just had a bottle up. And I'm just grateful that she gave me the opportunity to express myself. And she also shared so much wisdom, so much good tips that I wrote already in my head. And yeah, relationships. I think of all the tips we gave, there was one core tip that it was, the more you know yourself and you work on yourself, the easier you'll be able to tackle all the things. We can say that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you and see you guys next time.